evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Friday, March 10, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Guyana inks US $35.4 million deal for electronic ID cards for citizens. Government launches roadshow to spread ICT awareness in regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Fire destroys abandoned Lombard Street store. Carnegie to launch recipe book featuring 50 indigenous cuisines, and City Hall seeks legal advice as contractor fails to complete works on admin building. Now for the news in detail. The Guyana government today signed a US $35.4 million contract with German-based company Veridos to implement the single electronic identification system here. This will see new e-cards being issued to Guyanese to facilitate a wide array of transactions. In our lead story tonight, Banu Manikchand reports that the e-card will also help government to monitor the issuance of work permits in the country. Here's more.
Guyana had initially reached out to the United Arab Emirates government in 2021 for assistance in introducing this electronic identification card. Veridos, a global leading provider of integrated identity solutions, was selected from 2 international companies that made presentations to the Guyana government. The US $35.4 million contract with Veridos was signed virtually on Friday, and according to President Dr. Irfan Ali, getting to this stage was a long process but will promote the ease of doing business and personal transactions in Guyana.
E-ID systems promote the idea of one citizen, one identity, by assigning a unique national registration number to each citizen for use by all government agencies. Private sector, for example, in the banking sector now, we know the difficulties there. Through this card, the banking sector now can have fingerprint verification and validation of the person who's before them. So the need for proof of address and all the other documentation is eliminated. So the cost of doing business, the effectiveness, the competitiveness, the efficiency, all improve as a result of this technology.
The head of state went on to outline other internationally recognized features of the new resident card, which is not only ISO certified but also recognized by the International Civil Aviation Organization for international travel.
As a result of that compliance, it brings with it technical and international standards and requirements that are met, interoperability, secure and interoperable identity credential, privacy, and cross-border protection. The work permitting resident card is part of the delivery of this project, and it allows us to ensure that that we manage the immigrants coming in and manage the work permit system. Important to note, as a result of being ISO compliant, this ID card, one of the key features is the level of privacy. Secure, the privacy aspect of this card is second to none.
According to the president, the evaluators found that Veridos presented the best solution for Guyana. Meanwhile, officials from the partly owned German government company promised to deliver a quality product to the country and its people. Reporting for the Evening News, Banu Manikchand.
As the government of Guyana continues to push its information and communication technology agenda in an annual roadshow, the ICT Roadshow 2023 was rolled out and will target young people in at least 5 regions across the country. Here is Banu Manikchand again with the details.
The ICT Roadshow 2023 was launched by the Industry and Innovations Unit at the Office of the Prime Minister on Friday under the theme, Today's Youths, Tomorrow's Digital Innovators. The initiative will run for 7 days across 5 regions. That is, regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, targeting hundreds of 4th, 5th, and 6th form students. According to Outreach Officer at the unit, Jennifer Prasad Budu, the students will be sensitized about the ICT sector, which can motivate them to pursue education and careers in technology-related fields.
It is our strong belief that the roadshow will impart ICT knowledge, dialogue, and inspire our young people to develop and reinforce tools that can enhance Guyana's technological frontier. With professionals from both government and private sector agencies, we are grateful that you have taken your time to help us enable a digitally connected society.
Among the stakeholders participating in the ICT Roadshow is the Guyana Telecommunications Agency, and its director, Andrew Griffith, says young people do not need much convincing of the importance of ICT to the future.
We don't need to really convince them of the importance of ICTs, but the challenge, I think, with the young people is not just use of ICTs, it is safe use, it is responsible use, it is productive use. And I think this is what we are going to try to take to them with the roadshow.
The ICT Roadshow 2023 was officially launched by Prime Minister Mark Phillips, who underscored the importance of ICT literacy among the Guyanese population.
The more the people in that community is aware of what ICT can do for them, beyond TikTok, you know, and beyond just surfing and Facebook and so, right, is the more their life will become enriched, right? There'll be improvements in their livelihood. This roadshow is an important aspect in our quest to bridge the digital divide. We can invest in all the hardware, you know, like building the ICT hubs and installing the computers at the hubs and having the connectivity. But unless the people have the know-how, how to utilize the technology that becomes available to them, it means that the whole task, the whole project will be incomplete.
The first ICT Roadshow 2023 event will be held on Monday in Region 5. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manak-Chand.
A little over 2 years after the owner of the store was shot dead during an altercation outside of the business premises, the Robinson's General Store, located on Lombard Street, Georgetown, was today destroyed by fire. Here are the details.
At around 10:55 hours on Friday, a fire of unknown origin erupted at the Robinson's General Store, located at Lombard Street, Georgetown, and within minutes, it completely destroyed the age-old wooden structure. The cause of the fire is not immediately known, but investigations are ongoing.
What you see behind us here is a fire that occurred. We received a call about 10:55 hours. And 2 appliances from Central Fire Station, 1 from Alberton Fire Station, and 1 from West Rumville Fire Station would have responded here. Of course, they are now in the process of pulling out the debris, and the other ranks are investigating the cause of the fire.
The Evening News understands that the business has not been operational for a few months now.
All I hear is fire. When I come around and look, I see the building on fire, and I call the fire.
Was the entire building on fire at that time?
No, just the piece at the end there. The building burned very fast, because it's a dry building. In like 10 minutes time, the building done come down. Most of them living out the country.
Okay.
And the one we used to live here, they shoot it about 2 years ago. Somebody robbed it and shoot it. So that's how the building ended up shut down and then go abandoned.
Meanwhile, at the scene, the fire-threatened containers located at the Guyana National Industrial Company Incorporated, GNIC.
It was reported that one of the container, on top of it, has some pieces of wood, and apparently the wood ignited. So some of the workers from the place there, they have removed the wood, and they have already indicated to me that they extinguished the fire with the assistance of the fire department.
Meanwhile, the owner of the general store, 70-year-old Lennox Robinson, died after he was shot during an incident at the premises in late 2020. The businessman was shot on September 2nd and never regained consciousness. He succumbed to his injuries on October 12th. On the day of the robbery, the businessman was sitting on a chair in front of the establishment when he was confronted by two men on a bicycle. Police headquarters had said an argument quickly ensued between the men, which escalated into a physical altercation. During the confrontation, the businessman, who was a licensed firearm holder, was relieved of his gun and shot by one of the suspects, who later escaped with the weapon.
The Carnegie School of Home Economics is set to make history with the publishing of Guyana's first ever recipe book of indigenous cuisines. Tasia Dickinson tells us more.
Principal Acting of Carnegie School of Home Economics, Charmaine Marshall, shared that this initiative was birthed through a financing agreement with the International Fund for Agricultural Development for a 6-year project named the Hinterland Environmentally Sustainable Agricultural Development Project. The project recently developed a nutritional strategy and playbook that outlined the nutritional problems of beneficiaries of the HESAT program in regions 1 and 9. Now the school is working on a recipe book featuring indigenous cuisines, which is expected to be launched later this month.
So the purpose of it is to document the history of the recipes, indigenous recipes in Guyana, particularly from region 1 and 9. And that is what this project is about. So we would have gathered these recipes from various indigenous nations in Guyana, and we would have conducted what we call a test kitchen, because the recipes submitted are from different formatting. So what we wanted to do is to standardize it into a form where anyone can pick up this book and use it. What we are trying to do is to raise nutritional awareness among the nations by adding vegetables to their meals.
Marshall shared that the Taste Test Kitchen event saw tremendous support as people came out in their numbers to sample these foods.
We are doing the recipe book. We are designing and printing and publishing the book, but the book solely belongs to the National Tushal Council. So we have an overwhelming support. We have gained much traction. And what I find is that people are anxious on the third day. Persons are coming in way before the time. So I would say it's a huge success. We have gained traction, especially from the indigenous communities as well.
Meanwhile, Cook Supervisor Michael Patterson shared that a lot of people have been coming to sample the Tuma food. According to Patterson, he is elated to be part of such a historic event.
It's interesting to be a part of history, and this is so rich. This is really Guyanese unique culture, and we just tapping it right here. A lot of culinary tours and things would happen. Guyana is going into tourism, developing more and more. So it's a great being a part of such an historic project, a historic event. And this is the whole promotion and preservation of indigenous culture, especially with the food. The Tuma food, that's a big rush about it. Of course, we have other options, people who might not be eating meat and stuff like that, so we have that also as part of it. Farine cake, cassava roll, Leah. And Leah was doing some cassava roll, starch bread, a variety of appetizer, drinks. People rush also a lot for the fly, which is the black potato wine. So we have that. We have Capodola wine. We also have Capodola tea. We got Hubidi tea, wine. Hubidi is one of these fruits found in the forest. You take it, you process it, make a wine.
The historical recipe book, which will feature 50 recipes, will be created by Carnegie and available free of cost. A total of 300 copies are expected to be printed. Tasia Dickinson for the Evening News.
Guyanese can expect to soon see construction commencing on the 5 new regional hospitals, with land preparation having been completed at each of the sites. As part of its efforts to increase access to quality health care, the government will be constructing world-class hospitals in Regina, Region 2, Dikendron, Region 3, Bat, Region 5, Number 75 Village, Region 6, and at Diamond and Enmore in Region 4. Let's hear from Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony on the status of these facilities.
We are making progress on them. In terms of the regional hospitals, We have completed site development of almost all of them. So the one at Lima on the Essequibo Coast, the one at Dekendren, Enmore, Diamond, Bath, and number 74. We have all been doing the site preparation. The contractor has taken over several of the sites, and very shortly we'll start seeing work being started at each of these sites. So a lot of progress has been made. The designs are almost complete, so we'll start seeing construction in a short period.
Coming up, disagreements among residents will not stymie community development, says Edgel, and learn to reinvest in your business. Labor Minister urges upcoming entrepreneurs. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Mobile lubricants is more than just oil. It's many oils. The blends of oil give you higher mileage. Choose from your advanced synthetic blend or conventional. It is the best oil for your engine.
Mobile lubricant is the best oil for newer engineering of engines. Newer engines are much more close tolerance. Thus, this oil has a variety of grades and build-up properties to suit these engineering. Mobile lubricant keeps the engine oil seals in a uniform order and condition. Mobile lubricants withstands longer drain intervals. Why is this? Mobile lubricant has a very high detergent in its oil, and once fully synthetic oil is used, we can achieve this.
So, whatever is your engine needs, choose Mobile lubricants. Proven performance for your engine.
Are you a sports fan? Place your sport betting bets today for your chance to win up to $15 million per coupon. Visit any agent near you or www.superbet.gy and place your bets. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Superbet, your best bet.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The Georgetown Mayor and City Council is currently seeking legal advice on how it can part ways with Dave Constructing, the company that was awarded a multi-million-dollar contract to build a new administrative building in the southeastern corner of the City Hall compound. Deputy Mayor Alfred Mentor revealed that construction has been stalled because of issues with the contractor, who kept requesting multiple extensions. According to Mentor, construction has been stalled for about a year now. He added that the contractor did a lot of general work but never actually completed a specific phase. As such, he said the council is seeking legal advice on how to end the relationship with the company and hire another firm. According to previous reports, the building was being constructed in phases. In 2019, the central government gave $75 million to the MNCC for the first phase of construction works. The second phase of construction commenced in December 2021 after the government handed over a $30 million subvention to City Hall to complete the building. The new building, when completed, is expected to have an elevator, a room for the holding of statutory meetings, and all the vital administrative departments. Rupasina Ryan joins us now to report that a new trend of people objecting to roads being built across communities will not hinder infrastructural development, Public Works Minister Juan Edghill has posited. Here is more.
Public Works Minister Juan Edghill recently inspected a series of ongoing infrastructural projects in Region 2, including sea defense works and roads. However, he highlighted a new trend among people in communities.
We also had a new phenomena that I'm seeing developing, where people are objecting to where roads are going. Roads are awarded, and then people in the community are objecting to where the road is passing, with claims that sometimes are difficult. One man indicated that he owns a road, and if the contractor is going to build on that road, the contractor have to pay him for the materials he would have put on the road.
Other such issues have arisen which the ministry had to intervene. The Public Works Minister has emphasized that such issues must not hinder infrastructural projects within communities.
We cannot allow in Guyana disagreement among people to hinder community development. I want to repeat for emphasis, we have to change our attitude. Neighbors who got bad blood with each other, people who got family feuds running forever, should not use those instances and those things to prevent communities and a whole region from benefiting from development. And this is something that we have to try. We have to improve dispute resolution.
Edghill said when it comes to development in the region, engagements were facilitated with almost all contractors and works are moving apace. The unavailability of adequate aggregates is also being addressed.
We were able to today meet with all, if not all, most of the contractors that are executing work in what is called community roads or miscellaneous roads in region number 2, and we've gone through all of the issues. We've identified where there are problems, and I'll come to that because we have to come into the fields and deal with 3 of those problems. But the main issue that was identified is the absence of crusher run. We are aware the demand for aggregates and crusher run is great in the country, so government has put in place a program for the acquisition and the purchase of crusher run and aggregates, even from international sources.
The mainstay road has been completed, whereas the Kapui road is significantly advanced. The bridge is being built to get into that village. Rupasina Ryan, The Evening News.
Labor Minister Joseph Hamilton, during a recent graduation ceremony hosted by the Board of Industrial Training, emphasized the importance of reinvesting in one's business as opposed to spending lavishly. Find out more in this Tasia Dickinson report.
You can't be successful unless you're a disciplined person. Matters like delayed gratification. You know, I know a lot of young contractors, first job they get, $5 million program. Soon they get them the money, they're going to buy a Premier or Alien construction project. You understand? The business done. The car will come. You have to learn to take the money and put it back in the business. And if you got catch minibus for 2 years, catch a minibus. That's the only way you can be successful. And that calls for a lot of discipline.
Labor Minister Joseph Hamilton, during his brief remarks at the recent graduation ceremony for the Board of Industrial Training. The minister stressed the importance of discipline, sharing that it plays an integral role in a person's life and can benefit them in the future.
So life is not where you start, it's where you want to end this life. And you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, even the service you're in. You can't dream about one day you'll be assistant commissioner or commissioner. It's not a dream. You got to seriously work towards getting there. And it calls for a lot of discipline. It calls for a lot of focus. It calls for a lot of temperament, a lot of patience. And believe me, you'll get to the place you want.
Meanwhile,
One of the graduates shared that during the initial stage of the training, she felt as though she did not belong, given that she was among a few women in the course. However, she decided to not let doubt hold her back.
As I progress, with perseverance, I realized that, this is my place. I need to do this without thinking that the male will dominate and I don't stand a chance. So I keep pressing on, and it's something I like to do. I like to prove myself or challenge myself. A lot of persons ask, "What are you doing though? There's a man thing. You shouldn't be interested in that. You go and find some office job or some business career or something." But for me, I wanted to prove that this is something that I can do, and also it's something that I like.
Another female graduate shared a few words of encouragement for women who are interested in pursuing a male-dominated course with the BIT.
I will encourage them 100% to venture off into a program like this. Mere fact that you don't find females doing this, and the fact that we're now deciding to break barriers and venture off into these different programs, I will tell them go right ahead confidently and outshine the males.
Tassia Dickinson for the Evening News.
Councillors on the Region 6 Democratic Council have ignited a debate on the need for both mothers and fathers to play better roles in the upbringing of their children, especially in cases where the parents have been separated. In this Andrew Carmichael report, we learned that the councillors are exploring what can be done at the regional level to help ensure there is better family life when it comes to co-parenting.
The discussion started at a recent meeting of the Region 6 Regional Democratic Council, when Councillor Camille Cox argued that many single mothers who are deserving are being denied public assistance. Oftentimes, she explained, the courts are the next option since a lot of fathers have not been fulfilling their responsibilities financially. Cox said more stringent measures should be put in place to ensure that men take care of their children. However, Councillor Sean Smith contended that there are cases where women abuse the situation, and these cases too needs to be addressed.
There are a lot of men who are financially supporting the children, who want to be there for the children, but because of some narcissistic disposition of some of those mothers, those fathers are being forced in the corner, and because they are afraid to speak up because of the stigma attached to it in society. And so I think if at a regional level, we can try to see how we can foster networking more between the welfare, the child care, and the juvenile department, if they can network. And if you go about monitoring some of these single parents, you will realize that the father wants to play a role, but the role that he wants to play is being denied it because some of those mothers want to have their own way. One of the examples is there are a lot of parents who collect the cash grant, and 3/4 of that money was not spent on the child. They who might fancy weaving and bleaching cream and fancy soap, and they buy the cheapest boots and the cheapest thing for the children. So we just can't label up fathers and the responsibility on a collective basis.
Another councillor, Colin Moore, said if both parties take up their responsibilities, there may hardly be cases where women would have to apply for public assistance.
Or to take you to court, right? I think for us to have a better society, I think that the father figures need to play that very important role in the upbringing of children so that we can have a better society. It's long gone where we see only the male as a sole breadwinner, or we see the female who needs to always take care of the children. And this is something that's been going on for years. And I'm hoping that if we are going to build a better Guyana, then both parties should take up the responsibility so that we can have better human beings in our society.
The single mother population in the country is estimated to be significant. It was just over a month ago that President Dr. Irfan Ali, after an outreach in Region 6, pointed out that he had met with over 1,500 single mothers. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is expected to be closed on Saturday, March 11, 2023 at 6 hours 15 for a period of 45 minutes. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed on Saturday, March 11, 2023 at 6 hours 20 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Top horses confirmed for March 12 meet at Rising Sun Turf Club and Greaves Cycling Classic set for tomorrow. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
John Lewis Styles has opened a new department, now offering home goods. Here you can find quality sheets and towels, pillows, blankets and even bath mats and shower curtains. Organize your laundry with clothes baskets, fabric steamers, irons and ironing boards. For the kitchen we have small appliances, towels and mittens, pot sets and dinner sets too. Decorate the house with mirrors, picture frames, floating shelves and decorative pillows. All these and more on Waterloo Street. It's fashion for the home. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Wash bay operators, are you looking for that unique service to elevate your business? Well, come on down to your #1 industrial store, Sylvie's, and invest in an undercarriage pressure washer tool. That's right, impress your customers by now washing under their vehicles easy and efficiently with an undercarriage tool. We have in stock different types that offer a wider range of services and can increase your revenue without having to invest in expensive ramps. Your customers are going to leave satisfied. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets location, we can deliver in and around Georgetown. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.